The Emotionally Intelligent Leader by Daniel Goleman. Okay. The Emotionally Intelligent Leader by Daniel Goleman. Harvard Business Review Press, Boston, Massachusetts. Preface. Okay, the contents. Best-selling author Daniel Goleman first brought the concept of emotional intelligence, EI, to the forefront of business through his articles in Harvard Business Review, establishing EI as an indispensable trait for leaders. 3 of his most widely read and respected articles, What Makes a Leader, The Focused Leader, and Leadership That Gets Results, are presented here together for the first time. These 3 classics show the direct ties between EI, focus, and measurable business results. In What Makes a Leader, Goleman introduces his research that found that truly effective leaders are distinguished by a high degree of EI, the chief components of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill can be strengthened through persistence, practice, and feedback from colleagues and other leaders. This article shows how to develop the self-management and relationship skills that form the basis of emotionally intelligent leadership. Learning to focus your attention is increasingly important as each of us is distracted by technology, both at work and at home. In The Focused Leader, Goleman explains why focus is crucial to great leadership. Every leader needs to cultivate a triad of awareness, an inward focus, a focus on others, and an outward focus. Focusing inward and focusing on others helps leaders cultivate emotional intelligence. Focusing outward can improve their ability to devise strategy, innovate, and manage organizations. In Leadership That Gets Results, Goleman explains that many managers mistakenly assume that leadership style is a function of personality rather than strategic choice. Instead of choosing the one style that suits their temperament, leaders should ask which style best addresses the demands of a particular situation. Goleman describes 6 leadership styles derived from different emotional intelligence competencies: coercive, authoritative, affiliative, democratic, pace-setting, and coaching, and shows how each works best in particular situations and affects the organizational climate in a different way. Whether you're concerned with developing your own emotional intelligence or recognizing and strengthening EI in others, Goleman's timeless research will prove practical and useful as you become the most effective leader you can be. What makes a leader? Well, yeah, my nails were painted by a 5-year-old, so don't judge me. We painted each other's nails, actually. Every business person knows a story about a highly intelligent, highly skilled executive who was promoted into a leadership position only to fail at the job. And they also know a story about someone with solid but not extraordinary intellectual abilities and technical skills who was promoted into a similar position and then soared. Such anecdotes support the widespread belief that identifying individuals with the right stuff to be leaders is more art than science. After all, the personal styles of superb leaders vary. Some leaders are subdued and analytical, others shout their manifestos from the mountaintops, and just as important, different situations call for different types of leadership. Most mergers need a sensitive negotiator at the helm, whereas many turnarounds require a more forceful authority. I have found, however, the most effective leaders are alike in one crucial way. They all have a high degree of what has come to be known as emotional intelligence. It's not that IQ and technical skills are irrelevant. They do matter, but mainly as threshold capabilities. That is, they are the entry-level requirements for executive positions. But my research, along with other recent studies, clearly shows that emotional intelligence is the sine qua non of leadership. Without it, a person can have the best training in the world and incisive, analytical mind and an endless supply of smart ideas, but he still won't make a great leader. In the course of the past year, my colleagues and I have focused on how emotional intelligence operates at work. We have examined the relationship between emotional intelligence and effective performance, especially in leaders, and we have observed how emotional intelligence shows itself on the job. How can you tell if someone has high emotional intelligence? That should be a question, okay? Question mark somewhere. Oh, it's right there. For example, and how can you recognize it in yourself? In the following pages, we'll explore these questions, taking each of the components of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill in turn. Evaluating emotional intelligence. Most large companies today have employed trained psychologists to develop what are known as competency models to aid them in identifying, training, and promoting likely stars in leadership firmament. The psychologists have also developed such models for lower level positions. And in recent years, I have analyzed competency models from I-88 companies, most of which were large and global and included the likes of Lucent Technologies, British Airways, and Credit Suisse. In carrying out this work, my objective was to determine which personal capabilities drove outstanding performance within these organizations and to what degree they did so. I grouped capabilities into 3 categories: purely technical skills like accounting and business planning, cognitive abilities like analytical reasoning, and competencies demonstrating emotional intelligence such as the ability to work with others and effectiveness in leading change. To create some of the competency models, psychologists asked senior managers at the companies to identify the capabilities that typify the organization's most outstanding leaders. To create other models, the psychologists use objective criteria such as a division's. The list ranged in length from 7 to 15 items and included such ingredients as initiative and strategic vision. When I analyzed all this data, I found dramatic results. To be sure, intellect was a driver of outstanding performance. Cognitive skills, such as big picture thinking and long-term vision, were particularly important. But when I calculated the ratio of technical skills, IQ, and emotional intelligence as ingredients of excellent performance, emotional intelligence provided to be twice as important as the others for jobs at all levels. Moreover, my analysis showed that emotional intelligence played an increasingly important role at the highest levels of the company, where differences in technical skills are of negligible importance. In other words, the higher the rank of a person considered to be a star performer, the more emotional intelligence capabilities showed up as the reason for his or her effectiveness. Okay, well, thank you for watching Shares of a Lifetime Daily. I've been trying to reprogram myself as a robot because YouTube already knows that I'm a robot, and I'm a high-ranking robot at that. So, help make this one of the most viewed YouTube channels in YouTube history, and, send the views. Okay, XOXO. Peace out. Hugs and kisses.